used to frustrate Nan. One of the things that really used to get to her. There was a few things, like playing up on him. She'd never do it. But she always had this sneaking suspicion that Pop was playing up on her. Because they were farmers, grandfather, he always used to do a lot of home kills. Every morning he'd get up early and he'd cook chops, lamb chops. One particular morning, Nan walked up behind him with a big black frying pan. It was still hot. Whack! Straight across the back of his head. He flung it. Oh, what the bloody hell did you do that for? She said, well, explain this. He said, oh, what is it? She said, I found this slip of paper hidden in your pants pocket. It's got Marilyn written on it. Who's Marilyn? New Year's Day, Wallabadar races. Smithy gave me that tip on the horse. Marilyn was the name of the horse. I wrote it down and put it in my pants so I wouldn't forget it. Race number 6 was just the name of the horse. Nan said, fair enough. Next morning, Pop's up early, eating his chops. Gran walks up behind him with a big black there. It was still hot. Whack! Straight across the back of his head. He swung and said, what'd you do that for? She said, your horse just rang. This is all fair dinkum, folks. I'm telling you, Duri, this is what it's like. When I moved into town, I wanted to get Ausstar. Because my grandparents knew everything there was to know about animals. Farmers, see? Used to frustrate Nan. Poppy'd come in, he said, look, by the look of those ewes down there, they'll have their lambs on Tuesday. Sure enough, the first lamb had dropped. Come in and say, your mare there, by the look of her, well, she'll have her foal Thursday. Sure enough, the foal had dropped. This used to frustrate poor old Nan. He come in there one day, he said, well, 6 of your best red hens will never lay again. She said, how could you possibly know that? He said, I just run over him with a grey Fergie. Poor old Nan, gee, she used to cop it. And Pop was too tight, you know. Tight as. And just to give you an indication of how tight the old fella was, a few years back, he went in to get a hip replacement. Before they put him under, he asked the doctor if he could take the old bone home for his dog. That's how tight he was. And he didn't mind spending a little bit of money, so long as it was something to do with the farm, you know. They always knew everything about animals and that. That's why when I moved into town I wanted Ausstar, because I wanted to learn more about animals, so we got the Discovery Channel put on. There one day trying to learn a few facts that I could stump them with. I'm watching this thing on Africa and African lions. I started memorising a few things. Next day I went out to see the grandparents. I walked in, Pop wasn't there, but Nan was. She's sitting there having a cup of tea. I walked in and I said, Nan, I've got an animal fact for you. She said, what is it? I said, did you know that lions have to mate at least 7 times a day? She said, really? I said, yeah. 7 times a day. You know what she said? Well, thank God your grandfather's in Rotary. Any Rotarians in this morning? Or what about Lion members? You